resolution, she actually is going inside the jail. She's actually going to have 30 days to think about what she did, whereas a sentence of years may not actually have had that.
Good evening, I'm Rob Macco in for Paul Adler tonight. First at 10, a Christian County woman accused in a deadly crash 4 years ago is spending the next 30 days in jail. Marjorie DeWitt was charged with causing the wreck that killed Mercedes Luna. Frances Watson was in the courtroom. She joins us with the plea that's going to keep DeWitt out of prison. Frances.
Yeah, Rob, DeWitt entered an Alford plea to careless driving and tampering with evidence. That means she's not admitting guilt, but agreed there's enough evidence for her to be convicted. Now, prosecutors say the plea deal that includes a 30-day sentence guarantees she'll be behind bars.
Today, in front of all of our eyes, evil, laziness, cowardice, and injustice triumph over good.
May of 2021, investigators say 55-year-old Marjorie DeWitt caused a crash that claimed the life of 21-year-old Mercedes Luna. They say DeWitt attempted to pass a vehicle in a no-passing zone on Route 125 near Rogersville, cutting into the lane Luna was traveling in. Luna then crashed into a FedEx truck while attempting to avoid DeWitt's SUV. DeWitt was caught on surveillance video leaving the scene of the crash, but wasn't arrested until after months of searching for her. Detectives say she altered her vehicle to avoid being detected.
It's the tragedy of a young life taken. There isn't a sentence that can fit the crime.
Greene County prosecutor Joshua Harrell says the reason behind the plea deal was to make sure DeWitt spent time behind bars. One thing that we are looking at in this case is sentence time versus actual time, and those are different concepts. A person, like I said, who's sentenced to 5 years in prison may only ultimately do a year or two of that, even if they go before they're paroled, or they may get put on straight probation and never do a day of it. So we looked at this as a way that we could get her to actually have some time where she could sit in custody and think about what she'd done. Harrell explains that Luna's family ultimately agreed to the terms of the plea.
I imagine that one of the reasons why the family signed off on the agreement and asked us to go ahead and pursue that is because of the possibility that win or lose at trial, or I should say win at trial, we still would have appeals, potential post-conviction relief actions that are off the table now.
He says that despite the strong case, justice for Luna wouldn't be guaranteed.
At the end, you always have a victim. You always have a grieving family. You never have what we would consider justice, because in a homicide case, the systems just can't produce justice.
Luna's husband, Joshua, addressed DeWitt before she was formally sentenced.
My family has been deprived of the one thing in 4 years that we have so desperately hoped to hear. I did it, and I'm sorry.
Now, Marjorie DeWitt was taken out of the courtroom in handcuffs to start serving her sentence. She'll serve that in the Greene County Jail. And Rob, the judge tells me he reluctantly approved the deal.
All right, Frances, thank you.